Top of the day to you. Welcome to the show that you have been waiting for. This is Fusion Butter, brought to you by Upfront and Personal. And the gang is in the building. ABA can see here, guys.
Gabby in the building.
Medici here as always. You guys, for me, the way I look, I have a very bad eye. So.
Madici's very shades because I
feel so shy.
I just hope you're not going to throw shades today.
Please, dear.
Don't drop the shades because
We'll be right back after the short break. Stay with us. Don't move them also. We have a lot to talk about.
That's right.
I used to care for the world's opinion.
Next.
I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Fuse Unbuttered.
I gotta say this, guys. After watching a couple of clips of Dianel performing at the fans arena of the World Cup in Qatar this year, I gotta say that I'm super proud. I felt goosebumps. That crowd was massive. It felt like a festival.
Right.
I mean, football brings the world together. That's actually a perfect representation of almost every tribe from every continent. Like everybody was there and they were like vibing to the song. I could see that a couple of people were singing the song word for word, but not everybody, you get me? But I mean, not everybody is English speaking.
True.
But it was really, I mean, that feeling is surreal. I could not but only imagine how Dianel felt on that stage. And he kind of like gave tribute to Fela. He sang one of Fela's songs. Did you see the clips?
If you say African woman go say.
Yeah, you go say. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And he did the Guga.
Yes, I
mean, a few months back, he gave him. He said that I'm going to perform at the World Cup. I want to perform with the mass choir in Qatar 2022. And
his dreams.
We're excited that it happened, and it's so exciting to see. I mean, not just being an African, I mean, being a Nigerian is something we should be proud of. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing more Nigerians on that stage.
Definitely.
I know Patorankin is going to perform very soon also.
Yeah.
And we don't know if there might be a surprise act or something will just pop up. And one of the biggest.
I know, right? Why is it one of the biggest? Because Dianel is big.
Yeah, I mean.
But you know. You're about to
come.
You're the one showing shades,
No.
But you know what we're talking about. Anyways, for me, I just saw that was so amazing because I mean, this is like a crowd of 50,000 fans from all over the world,
even more.
And yes, because. It just starts to feel like the entire world is knowing all our songs word for word.
Exactly.
From last to Buga. It just keeps spreading. So
that's a vibe. Now this is a time or this is an era where you just have to be proud of the Nigerian entertainment scene. All right, moving on. We have to talk about. I feel like people are not talking about it enough, so we are going to actually shed light on it. Tenny put out a tweet that I lost 75 pounds without surgery. Cap on that.
Maybe I think you should describe who Tenny is so that they know the actual Tenny we're talking about.
I'm talking about Tenny.
So that we will know how someone will lose 75 pounds.
I'm talking about Tenny that just got a presidential award recently. I think when she came out for that to receive her award, that was when I particularly noticed that what's going on here? Like Tenny has like.
But then I think the first time I noticed it was during a music video where she was on a wedding gown. I was like.
Really? I didn't really notice that video.
Here's what I think. I think she has been on this journey for a while.
Really? Did you see?
Yeah.
No, when you see that video. No, hold on. All of you saying that.
We're seeing her slowly
How did you see her on the journey? Because we didn't see no clips, we didn't see no pictures, we didn't see no gym.
She's been off like, performance.
She was only recovering now. When you go through surgery,
but she already put out a tweet saying that
that's what she said. What she said doesn't mean what she said is true.
She doesn't believe that Tenny's saying the truth about not
because once you lose, I mean, do you know how big Tenny was?
Yeah, she said she.
And even if you even did it like through gym or through workouts, we'll still see like some fat. But this is clear. 75 pounds gone. Where? In a year or less than a year. Right. How?
You know why I still cannot agree with what Medici is saying? Because like I know that when you lose weight over working out and some gymming exercise and stuff like that, I mean, when you lose weight, because your skin, you're human, you get me? So there's going to be this show that, on your skin, like some retraction, some contraction kind of sign. It might not necessarily be like stretch marks, but there'll be loose skin, you get me? But so far so good. Tenny has not worn any revealing clothes.
So we can't see that. There's definitely going to be that, regardless of the.
I feel like there would be that.
So you feel, Gabby, are you saying she actually did this through gym or through workouts? We have people who have been on this journey for 4 or 5 years.
For me, I feel like
dieting works.
I feel like it's different. For me, I just feel like, if she says I didn't use surgery, and you can see that she's being defensive about it. Yeah. I don't think she'll just come out and start lying and say,
Gabby, this is not the first time a celebrity is being defensive. Anyways, what we know actually that's true. Let's wait for a particular.
But what I would say is, I just feel like regardless of whether it's surgery or whether it's not surgery, it doesn't really matter. The purpose of surgery, for any other medical
the result is the same.
It's just to be better.
Which is okay. I'm saying that if she did surgery, she should come out with her food. There's nothing wrong with it.
She said no.
No, I'm saying.
No, I didn't do surgery.
All right, that's good. But big shout out to Tenny. We see you. We love you. I feel like you look amazing regardless.
Tenny's actually very beautiful.
Tenny has always been a very beautiful woman.
She's actually very beautiful.
Now she's looking like she's going to be getting a lot of DM from Toasters.
I think many people have to look more like a woman now, because this tomboy look is not still.
I feel like people with the tomboy vibe.
I'm feeling the tomboy vibe.
I'm telling you, I'm still feeling.
I feel like she's going to give us another grade, another level of tomboy vibes in her fashion statement this period. I feel so.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, for it, Tenny.
All right, let's move on.
Maltina, share happiness.
Fuse Unpotted.
All right, so we're moving on to something different. You know how it is, when you're in this, in Nigeria, basically, African homes, a lady came out to talk about how she's not very affectionate as a lady, because most of the time while she was growing up, or literally all the time she was growing up, she never had anyone in her family say to her, I love you. She said she can count on her, on one palm, how many times her mom said I love you to her in all of her 24 years. Yeah. And she basically says, I know my mom loves me, but it just never happened. And so that's why I'm not affectionate.
Communicate.
People don't verbally communicate love most times in African homes, and I just think that it's true because I've experienced something like that basically. Okay,
Marichi,
that's what
from the top of your head, can you count how many times your folks, either of your dad or your
parents,
mom?
So I grew up with my dad or my mom ending the call and saying I love you.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Right from when I was in uni. My dad passed when I was in uni. So right till that time, I would always get it. Oh, I love you. So that's why it's strange to me. But I don't blame her. It happens in most of. But blaming it on your parents is what I don't understand. Just like saying, okay, I'm from a poor background, meaning that I can't be rich. We have people who came from humble backgrounds but are still rich. Okay, for instance, now if you say your parents preached against, say, sexual immorality, for instance, and you go to uni,
and you're getting some.
So why don't you blame your parents for that? So I feel like anything can be learned, right? You can. The fact that you were not born from an affectionate home doesn't mean you can't be.
Okay, so but I want to say something.
But if you have a kind of partner
about this on your own approach.
But you can also refuse to be that person.
I don't agree that being affectionate, always has to do with saying it. You can really love someone and that person is very aware of loving, even if you're not used to verbally communicating it, but that does not take away your affection. So even if in my family, there wasn't like much of, I love you said back and forth,
but you knew.
You know that you are loved.
But you knew that the love was there.
You receive that affection and you pass it on. But you can now say as a person coming from a home like that, you know what? I want to learn how to communicate my affection apart from just showing it. So it's not a lack of affection if you don't say it. It's just you're not communicating it. You can decide to communicate
you see what this lady put out, saying that, one of the reasons why it took her, she has identified a problem. All right, one thing about making changes is like, at first you identify the problem, you unlearn, then you relearn, then you begin to practice. You get me? So for her to have identified probably why she had to like make extra effort to show affection or to verbally
having her relationships.
I don't know exactly.
I think
but this is something that I also was affected somewhat. All right, and I would never have seen it as anything wrong. In fact, I still don't see it as anything wrong because I feel like you just need to evolve, unlearn, relearn. All right, what I want for my own family that I would be creating when I eventually have my family would be a lot different from what I experienced, because I want to develop on the kind of affection I experienced, communication partners that I experienced. I know for a fact that if I'm to look back and think of how many times did my pops ever tell me I love you, son, or my mom ever tell me,
so that's
I love
the thing.
you,
Your
boy.
father might not say it all the time. My dad doesn't say it as much as my mom says it.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
I mean,
hold on.
Talk about love
she went on to talk beyond just verbally communicating to also affection by talk. See, my pops, I can count how many times my pops has hugged me. It was always me prostrating. All right.
Okay.
I do something wrong. I probably break curfew. I'm coming back to prostrate to beg.
Hold on. Of the children.
It's a duty. But at some point, I think one of the advantages that I had with my own pops was that it was very, very. It was someone who was very intentional about our communication skills, and he wanted all of us to be assertive. I am the last born, but I never felt like I was the last born. And when it comes to like family discussions, so my pops would be like, okay, what are the things I'm doing wrong, Daddy? I say, pops, if you actually do something wrong, you don't even tell us I'm sorry. You just say, okay. So I've heard you, and you just so eventually now say, okay, I'm sorry, but this didn't happen until I was already becoming a teenager. Do you understand? This was already happening by the time my elder brothers were already like way above the teenage, and it was just something that I had to experience because I was still very young when my elder brothers were already old and they were communicating these things. And this is something that would probably be happening in almost every Nigerian family home. Do you understand? So the show of affection sometimes is affected from where you come from, but that doesn't mean you don't have the right. You can't be a better person. We'll go on the short break now. When we get back, we have a lot to talk about. Don't move them off. So there's still more. All right, guys.
I used to care for the world's opinion. Next. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation, and I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter, and the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Maltina, share happiness.
Views Unpotted.
So when it comes to relationship and marriages, I feel like there should be communication as to what you can take or what the other person
Boundaries,
can take.
You mean?
Yeah, I'm saying this because we have a lot of times where we get into situations where you be like, oh, I wish my partner didn't do this. I wish my partner didn't do that. When you had the opportunity to talk about it. So there was a recent tweet. I don't know if it was a tweet or a post by a social media handler who actually said his girlfriend recently dumped him because he complimented another lady on social media. And somebody came out to ask, okay, what was the compliment? And he said, just say you are beautiful. And some people had a problem with asking, okay, is it too much? Is it bad? Is it okay not to make such compliments? But first of all, let me give my own opinion.
Okay.
If you're not going to take it, don't give what you can't take. And I think first of all, you need to understand who your spouse is. Some people might not have a problem with it. Like my partner would not have a problem with it. I don't know if I would have a problem if he does the same thing. So there are two different things. The fact I don't take it doesn't mean you should take it, right?
See, I'm sorry.
But at the same time, how often do you always tell your partner, oh, you look beautiful, you look this, you do that? How often do you also comment? Because I feel like if he was doing that to his girlfriend, she might not have a problem with it. And this is a total stranger, right? Someone you don't know. You are beautiful. From you are beautiful, you can enter, oh, you look gorgeous, you dress nice.
I'm sorry, I don't even agree like one bit, because I'm like, if you're dating someone, that person doesn't automatically become blind. Like the person can see and appreciate beauty. Like you can't take that away. That's their human right. So what happens if your partner doesn't compliment you as much as he does to others? How would you take that? The partner should compliment his girlfriend.
I know that's the question. What happens when your partner doesn't compliment you as much as he compliments others?
That's not the problem with this particular lady.
Because Gabby is coming prim and proper.
No. It's not about being prim and proper. It's okay to actually say, you're beautiful to someone else. You can compliment other people. The problem, just like you said, is where you're complimenting other people.
Yeah, and not complimenting your partner.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I feel like there should be boundaries. You get me? Like the kind of things you say to your partner should not be the same things you say to everybody out there.
So you think you are too beautiful? Is too
beautiful?
No, that's not too much. All right, that's not too much. All right. If I call my partner pet names, lovely names, there should be a particular name that is peculiar to just my partner. Yeah. That she knows that when I call her that name, she's not going to find me calling another person that name.
Other people should be experiencing. I don't know if I can go to someone's DM and say you are handsome. I don't know. I might say you look good.
DM is too direct.
Not DM. I mean like comment. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you are, I don't know if I can say you are handsome.
All right, guys, let's hear what you guys think. All right, about this. All right, how far is too far when it comes to like sharing affection and emotion with outsiders different from your partner?
Basically, just compliments. It's not sharing affection or emotion.
I mean, you guys
from handshake.
Can you compliment another person that you're not dating?
All right.
Are you okay with your
if
partner?
If you actually compliment your partner, not just
let's hear what you guys think. Hit us up on YouTube and Instagram. On Instagram, it is Fuse Local, FUZELOCAL, and on YouTube, The Fuse, THEFUZE. Click the subscribe button and also kindly turn on the notification so you can be notified anytime we drop a new video. This is where we have to draw the curtains. We had fun today in the studio. My name is ABA. Can hit me up on all social media platforms at AB_AKYNZ.
My name is Gabrielle. You find me on Instagram at Gabby. Do also follow, guys.
_Medici on all social media platforms. Until next time, guys, stay fused.
Holla.
Upfront and personal, world-class business, world-class consultants.